The following contest is a submission match. On the way to the ring, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Candice Michelle. And the opponent, from Richmond, Virginia, Mickie James.
A big New England welcome from Portland, Maine. This is good old JR Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Law.
I've never seen a crowd so fired up, JR. They can't wait to get started, and neither can I.
That makes two of us, King. I don't think Portland's going to know what hit it after tonight.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
It can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick!
I certainly question some of Candice's techniques from time to time, but there's no denying that she's got a fierce competitive spirit and some serious athletic ability.
Not to mention an incredible pair of legs. I wonder what time they open.
This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary?
Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not gonna end well.
What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to...
Oh, no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Oh, my gosh! Can you imagine getting beaten with your own finisher, JR? I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's gonna go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that would be no easy feat.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like We're in the middle of a slobber knock. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, King? Looks like turnabout is fair play.
Oh boy, this looks like an all-or-nothing move.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on this, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
Wow! Listen to these fans, JR!
You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE fans at all.
I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they haven't. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact.
This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. You know, King, I'm not sure that Candice is all there most of the time. She seems a little spacey to me.
That makes sense, JR. I think her ring attire might have been made on the moon, because her body is out of this world.
You know, just when I think you can't embarrass me any further, you somehow find a way.
Oh, come on, JR. You know you love it. And I know I love watching Candice in action.
I don't believe it. We might see a superstar get beat with their own finishing move here. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it.
I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... Oh, go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker.
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
Agree entirely, King. I'd bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it? I don't see why Candice agreed to this match, JR. She should join us on commentary. She can sit on my lap, and we can talk about the first thing that pops up.
Folks, I've got to apologize for the King. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I bet it came in a little blue pill.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world.
I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, JR. I can't believe I actually get paid to do this.
Well, don't let Mr. McMahon hear you say that, King, or you might wind up having to do it for free.
That's true. I don't want to say that Mr. McMahon's cheap, JR, but I heard he won't even tip a canoe.
Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can't, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way.
I tell you, King, Sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff. I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
Candice is one of my favorite. Wow! Stealing your opponent's finishing move definitely sends a message.
These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again.
No one's ever going to confuse Candice with a match tactician, but there's more to sports entertainment than knowing 100 different holds.
Yeah, but if Candice wanted to learn a few, I'd be more than happy to show her.
My, what a generous offer, King. And to think, some people say you're not generous.
Listen to the crowd, JR.
You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar.
You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you. If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know. There's no room for error when you're on the top rope.
These superstars are going to tear each other apart.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not going to go home disappointed. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't, and that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible.
tell you, JR, this one has the potential to be a Match of the Year candidate.
No doubt about it, King. As far as I'm concerned, any WWE match has that potential. Everyone on the roster is an accomplished wrestler.
I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this thing.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser. I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech.
God bless the First Amendment, JR.
I'll tell you what, King, the WWE Superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period.
What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually think of anywhere else that you can see athletes of this caliber?
Well, just going for humility there. I'm not surprised it was lost on you.
Remind me to never try and step between these guys, JR.
That would...
Here's your winner,